Ready?
Mm.
Alright, so hey, welcome to Dalton Gang Off Grid. So tonight we are going to do something a little bit different. We have put the boys down to bed, and so it's nice and quiet, so hopefully we can get through this. But today we are going to talk about our testimony of why we live the way we do, because we've had a lot of people asking, like, why in the world do you guys live off grid, and why do you do all the farming, all the planting? And so we're gonna kind of just give our testimony.
So it all started, I guess, years ago. We bought this place in 2010. So we've had it for 12 years. Hard to believe that. But anyways, we started here in a little camper,
70s camper.
70, 72 model camper or something, old. 30-foot camper, really small. But had Zach. Uh, newborn. He was just newborn, so it's kind of rough in a little camper. But we went from that to a trailer house. We actually acquired from a couple that I worked for years prior to actually knowing Angie, and he just kind of he said he had this trailer house sitting around. Nobody was using it, so we took him up on the offer, and man, it was such a blessing. But as we was going through, we fixed the house up. We fixed the trailer house up. We uh, we done a lot of work out here, and we had chickens and rabbits at one time, and just a few things, but it all just kind of was falling apart.
But we were kind of doing that because it was like something to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't really like we weren't striving to do the homesteading thing.
No, it was just more of a, we had it,
It's like, let's just do this.
Just do it for, yeah. But so we started, like I said, everything was starting to break on us. The house was going downhill quick. The washing machine and dryer had went out. The plumbing, was all, everything was leaking. If it had water running through it, it was running out of it just as fast as it was going through it. Hot water tank had hole, and it was just
more lime.
Yeah, it has more lime than water in it. Anyways, it was a constant mess, and at that time we had acquired a bunch of debt on what we thought would bring more happiness.
Needed the cars, and we needed the appliances, and because you have to have that washer and dishwashers to survive.
Yeah, it just we got to the point to where it was aggravating that we didn't have some of the things that we thought we needed. So, but we did have, like I said, we had the truck and the car and four-wheeler, motorcycle, and everything that we thought would bring us happiness too. Plus, we wanted all the other stuff that went along with the house that was breaking down, but we was in a position to where it was hard to get that at the time. And through that, we went and was offered a job at a place and actually got to live there. And in that job, we had an abundance of the things that we're talking about here, like the Angie never had a
actual
dishwasher. She is the dishwasher. So we had brand new dishwasher. We had brand new washer and dryer. The washer and dryer actually went out at this place. We had it was rent free. Everything was paid for. But the washer and dryer went out one time, and it was like, oh, just use the card. Go get a brand new washer and dryer. And it was very nice. I mean,
God
to
really
the
blessed us with
yeah,
an abundance of
of stuff
stuff.
that we thought at the time prior to that we needed. Like the laundry machine. I mean, the dryer. That's stuff that we take. And we think we need that. We need the dishwasher, even though a lot of people right before they wash dishes wash them with a brush. But anyways, we used every bit of that. So while we was there, we learned a lot, and we had a lot. Um, the TV time that we had, it was a bunch, and the amount of uh, video games that the kids had played uh, was just, it was an abundance, and it was like, why do we need all this stuff?
And it was taking away a lot of family time.
Yeah.
And the working was taking away a lot of family time, and
and like I said, there's so much to mention on why our ultimate idea was to move from that, but the reasonings on why we was wanting to be so self-sufficient, uh, so I guess you'd call it unmaterialistic, is because it's not about all the things that we can obtain, and God had to show us that through us having all that. We spend now most of our time working outside with the kids. We spend a lot of time working, just doing all kinds of stuff around this house. But our kids can get involved in that with us instead of just uh, one parent teaching, or so they're learning not only how to uh, do different jobs, but they're learning also how to eventually raise gardens, raise bees, raise the chickens and hogs. It's a learning. It's a and it's also a
I mean, it really boosts the
good
kids.
chores for
Yeah,
'em.
it really boosts the kids' what is that called? Self-esteem, because they get to be a part of the functioning of our farm.
Yeah.
We like they feel needed. That's like, oh, yeah, they don't like all their chores, but but they get that feeling of, oh, they need me, and I think that's really important for
Yeah, and they
that
have,
lesson.
a lot of times, sometimes they don't have fun. I mean, there's always times that we don't have fun doing chores and doing work outside. But a lot of times they can look back and say, I did this. One of our boys today was raking up the line of fence there that the hogs, they snout and push stuff out on the fence. So he was raking all that stuff back, and after he was done with it, he didn't want to at first, but after he was done with it, he was like, man, look at this, how it looks good, and this is where I started, and this is where I ended. So
They're excited.
kids nowadays, they don't get that opportunity a lot of times anymore. So they're forced to play video games or watch TV. Just while mom and dad do everything, you go sit over there in the corner somewhere and play your video game. It's devastating what's going on in the world today. But so we moved back to this place from the position that I was at. We quit there, moved back here, and through that move, uh, we started living in the trailer again. We took all the power out of there. We redone the whole trailer again. We did it the first time. Didn't like a few things, but this time we was going off grid, so we just redid it all to where it had no electric wiring, no outlets in it, no anything. It was just completely off grid. Um, so we did that, and we lived there. But we've always, even prior to our move to the job that we had, or that I had, uh, we always wanted to build our own cabin, our own house, and you know, we're very we don't try to spend a lot of money on stuff. We try to build with what we've got, but we come across, we went over a lot of different things. We went over from cabin building to just a home building,
Well,
an A-frame building.
We were going to do like the wood,
Mm-hmm.
and then but actually, Randy did all the sawmilling, whatever, all this whole deck. He cut the wood on an actual sawmill, but there was some things that we needed to purchase if we were going to build the cabin, and that's when the prices of lumber just skyrocketed.
It started going up,
and it was
lot,
just
and we look. So then we started looking at other ideas, So we was gonna build the cabin. Then we started A-frame. That'll save some space. And then we thought, well, we'll build a yurt, and that was still a ton of money, and we're like, we don't need all this, still yet there we was trying to go back to what we thought we needed, and we wanted enough room for all the kids to have their own rooms. We did decide that we wanted enough just to where they could have their own space. As a kid growing up, it's kind of nice to have your own space. It's not a bunch of space, but it's way more than they had in the trailer. So that's good. But these tents, we come across these, and the guy that I actually talked to about these tents that sold us these tents, he was talking to me about them, and I was telling him, hey, we're thinking about doing this. Small one for the boys, a bigger one for us, the bathroom, all the kitchen stuff. And he was probably like, what in the world? These people are crazy, because not everybody lives in a tent. They normally set these up at campsites and stuff, and more like a bed and breakfast type deal. But this, even getting this, has made us feel that we don't need even more stuff, but it's stuff that we take for granted, that we think we need in this world. And what can we actually live without? If our phones go off tomorrow, can we actually live without them, or is it something that's just going to drive us crazy? I'm pretty sure that we probably wouldn't notice as much now. There was a time, though, that it would have been very difficult.
Yeah.
I don't, these videos, I'm not a big fan of videos doing them, they're, it's awesome to document our progress, and it's awesome to be able to share what we're doing. It's hard to do it because it's not something that just comes naturally to me, is to set up a camera every time I get out a tool and start working.
Hang on, don't move. I gotta get the camera.
So I've built quite a bit of extra stuff around here since the last time Angie had her camera on, and it's just simply because it's hard for me to just sit still and do different poses and things while she's video recording, but we're trying to get better at that.
But the main reason why we're doing this, and it actually kind of started out when we were just wanting to document for ourselves the progress of this, and then we thought, well, how cool is this? And does anybody else want to see something like this? And we did a lot of praying, and we thought, this could be like an encouragement, to a lot of people, because when we were getting into this, we didn't, there's a few people out there as crazy as we are who's living like this, but there's not very many. But we're finding out now through all this that there's a lot of people, there's a huge community in this whole entire United States who is interested in this simple way of living, but where's the support? And so we really hope that through these videos and just our way of life is an encouragement. And that's just kind of how we've been praying about that. But.
Yeah, and we've already had people respond from different states that that not only just about the way we live off grid, but also about the way we raise the boys, about how we're doing stuff not just for ourselves but also for God, and to show our lifestyle, and so they've noticed that it's okay, here comes the dog. But they've noticed that, and it's really is very uplifting, and
It's encouraging
it's
for us
encouraging.
too.
Yeah, that's what I meant, encouraging. This was really is awesome. But I guess that's about it.
Yeah. You don't what's more important, the stuff, or the time taken away from your family, taken away from God?
Yeah. It's harder to appreciate the things that what God has made when you do have them things too. I mean, it really is when you've got, I know I'm not knocking people that have brand new trucks and everything. It's awesome. They're,
But
to have a reliable vehicle, but are you focusing more upon that? Are you focusing more upon your materialistic things? Not even just a new car, but just your materialistic things. Or maybe it's your phone. Maybe you focus on that too much, or TV. But are you focusing on that more than you are on God? Are you focusing on that more than you're focusing on the kids? Because nowadays, when you go to dinner, most people are on their phones playing on them, or simply just any time of day. Kids go all
even at
play their
church.
phones. Yeah, church. Yeah, yeah. So I think we all need to take a look at what we could lose. Because we can all get forfeit some things in our life. It just depends on how strong we are, I guess. Anyways, you got anything?
Oh, nope. I think that was pretty good.
All right.
Hope you enjoyed.
Thanks.
Had a whole